Another extremely important addition to any pack is water filtration, because you can only carry so much water in your back. And what I have here is a Katadyn Vario water filter, and this thing can actually filter 530 gallons before it needs a replacement of the filter. And it can do up to 2 quarts a minute, and it has a 0.3 micron filter. Now this thing is great because for such a little size you can filter an extremely large amount of water. You also might want to get a couple extra filters with this. The really great thing about this too is even if you run out of filters, the way that's built, you can actually use it at pretty high efficiency. Not as great as it would with the disposable filters, but you can just clean off the ceramic filter and keep using it. Now these run for about 80 bucks, which is kind of expensive, but comparing all the features and the time that it lasts, this is definitely a better overall deal compared to small miniature bottle filters or tablets. It's going to last you a lot longer. Next I have here is a little pocket fisher pole. I got this one at dealextreme.com, and it was very cheap. It was like $5, but it's a collapsible fishing pole. You know, not much to be said about it. Very small package. You know, you just attach the reel on here like this, and you know, you're ready to go. And of course, anytime you're going to be traveling long distances, you're going to want a compass, so at least you know which direction you're heading. Try to get a decent water-filled one, one that's not going to break on you. This one's pretty small. We got here some micro lights. These are the kind you can just attach to your finger. It's real simple to use. Also, a quick note: anything that's in the red or orange area is going to be less visible from long distances. So if you're trying to keep out of sight of people, that's the color you want to use. You never know who you're going to run into or what you're going to need, and things are real bad. Who knows what paper money's going to be worth, so I got some good old hard cash, some silver here, just in case. Now, some other miscellaneous stuff I included that could become very useful. Right here I have a surgical kit. Hopefully you won't have to use it for actual surgery, you know, the minor kind of course. But you know, the kit here has lots of different clamps and scissors, a couple suture packs in case you need to get stitched together a wound. It's got some blades as well, but you could also use this for repairing equipment. Of course, none of this is sterile, so if you were actually have to stitch something together, you'd want to sterilize it first. Now I have a 100 pack of X-Acto blades. Now, I can't tell you how many times just in my average daily life these things come in handy. Now, next here I have a stitching needle and some wax thread. This is going to be real important to you if you have problems with your strapping or your equipment, because you're going to need something like this to push through the heavy material to hold it together. This could also be good for your tent or your sleeping bag or any kind of other shelter that you might want to build, or even some kind of traps for animals. Next I have here a pair of, actually not a pair, it's a miniature monocular. This could be good for spotting animals or people that you might want to be staying away from. It's real small and light, and it has a 40 times magnification. Now, this thing I have here is an emergency survival blanket. Now, this is made of Mylar, which has a thin sheet of aluminum in it, and this is going to trap most of your body heat. It'd be really good if it gets freezing or below freezing all of a sudden and you weren't prepared for it. Now I have a bunch of crazy glue. You might wonder why I have this, but for more than the obvious purposes than fixing stuff, it could also be used to hold together wounds in an emergency situation to stop the bleeding. Now here I have a micro fiber towel, which will actually absorb quite a bit for its size, and this is good for hygiene and also just staying dry. Next here is the baklava for your face, in case it gets a little too cold. You want to keep warm and you don't want to be losing your tip of your nose or anything, so this would be a good thing to have. Another thing that might be a real good idea to pack is a roll of duct tape, because that has 1,000,001 uses. I don't even have to go on about that. Now, some of the electronic stuff you might want to pack here. First on the list is a flashlight. This is the type that doesn't use batteries. It's the shake and power kind. Never going to run out of batteries. Could be pretty useful. These are pretty good if you're going to be out in the wilderness and you don't know how long you're going to be stuck out there. A couple sets of GRS radios, and these are good if you have more than one person in your party. Stay connected and know what's going on with each other. If you get these, be sure to get the kind that have the earplug port so you can stay silent. These blue ones I got here for about $8, and these black ones here, they have a voice activation feature, so you really can use it hands-free. Next, I have this GPS, it's a Garmin GPS. And you can use this to mark different good hunting areas or fishing, water that's fresh, or areas you might just want to stay away from and just generally know where you're going. Also, this might come in handy if you have to, make a quick getaway and drop some of your equipment in one spot so you can come back later and get it. And if you notice here, I packed all of my electronics in watertight bags. Now, again, like I said, chances are you're going to at least get rained on, and a couple rains, all this stuff's going to be worthless, so you want to either put it in these water bags or some Ziploc bags just to make sure that it keeps working. Here I have some Midland dynamo radio. It actually powers by turning the dynamo crank on the side. It's got a weather radio. It also has a flashlight and different kind of electrical connections that you can use to charge other small devices. This is a real good all-in-one device to have, not only to know what's going on if you want to listen to the radio or just from general entertainment, but also to power up other small devices you might be carrying with you. Now in this bag I have two devices. The first one on top here is a media player, which is not only good for keeping yourself entertained, but this particular version I have has built-in solar panels. So again, you're not going to need the batteries. You can just let it sit out and charge, or you could use the dynamo to charge it. Other than entertainment, this thing has an actual valid survival use, because what you can do is download thousands and thousands of manuals about survivalism and medical treatments and building different types of shelters and how to get food and all that, and put it on to this device. And it's like having a giant library in your pocket. What could be better than that is having unlimited amounts of information with you, even out in the wilderness. Because really, you can't know it all, and might as well just put it on either a little flash disk, or just put it on the built-in hard drive. Finally, I have here a shortwave radio. This one runs on batteries, but if you really needed to, you could wire it up to the dynamo and the Midland radio. This is good for knowing what's going on in the rest of the world in case the problems that you're having are more local or even national, so you can get a little news, not only from news services but individuals, because individuals use their shortwave radios. Some other stuff you're going to need with a kit like this that I didn't include is stuff like batteries and fishing line. Another important thing to remember too is keep your batteries separate from your electronic equipment, because if you're going to be setting this thing in a closet and it could be sitting there for years, you don't want them starting to rot and open up and explode inside your electronics and just ruin them. So at the very least, your electronics aren't going to be screwed. Now I hope you enjoyed this overview of my bug out bag. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you can use some of this information to set yourself up so you can be prepared in case of an emergency. If you like this video, please come check out my site. It's at www.expanton.com. It's spelled like expansion without an I. And you'll find a ton of great information there. Hope you sign up and join us and give us some ideas of your own. Thanks for watching.